welcome you to Cary, North Carolina, and the beautiful WakeMed Soccer Park. North Carolina FC, their home opener, taking on Chattanooga Red Wolves SC. It's USL League One action coming at you from WakeMed Soccer Park. And good evening, everyone. I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be in my 16th season as the TV voice, and delighted to be joined by Andrew Tate. And Andrew, here we go, the home opener, always an extra level of excitement.
Yeah, absolutely. New season, same great surface here at WakeMed Soccer Park, but a lot of new faces out here to get excited about.
North Carolina FC won their first game. Last year, they lost all 4 against Chattanooga. But new leadership is in town. In the back, Jordan Skelton will wear the captain's armband for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, and he's a huge pickup for this team. You can tell right from the get-go last weekend, he was a leader at the back, barking out orders to every single player. His presence on the field now has made a big impact, and you can see that in how he affects all the players on the field, not just defensively, but also from set pieces. Look for him to get on the end of a few tonight.
Jordan won a USL League 2 title a year ago. Meanwhile, the captain for Chattanooga is where you're going to put the spotlight on.
Totally different sort of captain. Leads by example in terms of what he does with the ball. Jose Correa Garcia, fantastic player, cultured. He's so brave. He's going to put himself in situations to receive the ball whenever his teammates need him, and he'll look to pull the strings from an attacking sense for his side, and also delivers great set pieces as well. So big impact from him for his team today.
Also another pickup for North Carolina FC, the former Duke goalkeeper, Will Pulisic. That's right, you'll recognize that name, the cousin of Christian in goal. And of course, North Carolina FC led by John Bradford. We'll have the starting lineups and the kickoff when we return.
Continental Tire has been a proud supporter of soccer for more than a decade. We've been there both on and off the field for some of the greatest celebrations. We've watched with you as the game and personalities have gotten bigger. We are proud to continue standing alongside you, supporting the game that gives us all so much. Together, we've shared thousands of incredible goals and celebrations. Here's to many more to come.
So, how do you like your urgent care? At WakeMed, we have urgent care just about everywhere. Urgent care that specializes in orthopedics and kids. My Care 365, open every day of the year. Even virtual urgent care. Yup, urgent care in your jammies on your tablet. So download the WakeMed All Access app and get urgent care that's caring, convenient, and just the way you like it.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina, the home opener for North Carolina FC as they take on a very good Chattanooga Red Wolves SC. Dean Linke with Andrew Tate, and let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the home team in blue, North Carolina FC.
And it's a very similar team to what we've seen in the last couple of fixtures for North Carolina FC. Pulisic in goal, and he'll be in front of him, marshalled by a back four of Flores, Blanco, Fernandez, Skelton and Lou Young. Their third appearance together as a back four, so looking to build some consistency. Summersall will cover a lot of ground in midfield, partnered by Arriaga, and then Frame, Sylvania, McLaughlin and Anderson will provide the attacking firepower that will hopefully see North Carolina FC get to 3 points today.
Well done, Andrew. That's the starting lineup for the home team. We'll take a look at the visitors in white, led by Jimmy Obleda, a fiery coach. Talk about their lineup.
Yeah, looking to spoil the party today are the Chattanooga Red Wolves. A solid back four, likewise with NCFC, the third appearance of the season, 3 out of 3 for them. Aviles starts in goal, his second of the season. And then Carrera, Cartenia and Espana will look to run the midfield. And then Beeman, Espinoza and Mensingen will look to create havoc up top.
That's the starting lineup for Chattanooga. John Bradford, you talk about the youth to pro system. He embodies what that is all about.
Yeah, his whole life now, even with 3 kids on the youth side of the club, he started on the youth side. He's worked his way through every single level of soccer, and he's fully deserving of sitting in that seat now. And I know he's making real progress with this team. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes tonight.
To put an exclamation point as you take a look at Jimmy Obleda, and we'll have more on him and the job he's done, but to put a little extra emphasis on John Bradford, he continues to oversee the academy program, which really amplifies what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's very in touch with everything, John. I think he finds it hard to kind of pull back. He's got his hands and fingers on everything. But that's what the whole youth to pro with NCFC is all about. It's that connection and seeing the pathway. And Cole Frame is embodying that today, starting out on that right wing. A player that grew up in Wake Forest, just down the road from Gary here. And he's worked all the way through the recreation to playing at the higher youth levels, and now starting his second season as a pro.
North Carolina FC, the home opener 2022, now in their second season at USL League One, WakeMed Soccer Park. A little crisp. In fact, Andrew, by the time we're done, they're saying about 37 degrees. It'll start just under 50. All things being said, though, that's not terrible.
No, first game of the season. We weren't expecting much. I know the golfers, I think, are crying a little bit, but for soccer here, we're going to keep warm. We're going to keep moving out here.
They try to get it up to Anderson, wearing number 9. A lot of new names here for North Carolina FC. Not wholesale changes, but almost.
Yes. I think that's just the nature of US League One, right? There's a lot of players that are looking to make a name for themselves here and progress, but they've got lots of opportunity to do that here. And I know the Red Wolves have a lot of players that have moved on to the championship level and beyond. And the same for some of the faces that were here last year with North Carolina FC.
Chattanooga Red Wolves SC, they beat North Carolina FC all 4 times last year as they were one of the top teams in USL League One. They're led by their owner, Bob Martino, as they're developing something really special around the stadium, which they're going to expand. And then Sean McDaniel, their president and general manager, really highly regarded among the general managers. And of course, Coach Obleda, not too bad as well.
Yeah, Obleda's 3rd year here with Chattanooga, and he's a coach that I don't think is out there to make friends with opposition fans. He's all about his team. He puts everything into every game. Very passionate individual, but very well respected. The players definitely love playing for him.
Good job by Anderson to knock it off of Chattanooga, and he is slow to get up right now. Both these teams losing their Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup games midweek. North Carolina FC was winning and then it fell, and then of course Chattanooga lost to Louisville City.
2 really close games though. Both teams had chances. North Carolina was up 1-0 after a fantastic strike from Jaden Savania. That made the ESPN top 10, I think, on one of the nights. It was an absolute thunderbolt. And then Chattanooga going down 1-0 away to Lou City was a very respectable performance from them. Lou City top of their championship division, and a tough place to go.
So a throw in here for Chattanooga, just 3 minutes in. Chattanooga in white, North Carolina FC in blue. They'll play it all the way back now to their center back, number 23, Capelzucchi, Sebastian Capelzucchi. It was interesting in that loss to Rio, there was a couple players that really were dangerous last year for Chattanooga that were here on Wednesday knocking off North Carolina FC.
Yeah, Ricketts, the last time I was here, Dean, watching these 2 teams play, Ricketts scored a big goal in that game. And he did the same
Nifty little flick there in the middle and kept alive here by Chattanooga. Benton will play it to the middle. There's the captain, Carrera Garcia. And it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Cole Frame gets his first start of the season. Really established himself as a super sub last year. What do you see in him as a starter, Andrew?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for him. I think he's probably been a little bit frustrated to have not started the first 2 games away at Tormenta and then here in the Cup on Wednesday. But he's got an opportunity today with Nelson Martinez suspended. You know, he's got an opportunity to get in the team and hopefully make a name for himself. So he's a player with lots of energy. And he's certainly a pest for defenders. It's can he produce that quality from minute 1 and really get a foothold in the game for North Carolina.
So free kick opportunity as Nelson Flores Blanco, who will be leaving the team here in a little bit to play some friendlies for Hugo Perez and El Salvador. And Nelson Martinez out of this game because of a red card. That's another reason why Cole Frame did find his way into starting lineup tonight. North Carolina FC opening up on the road and getting an important win. Remember last year it took a little bit of time for them to get some points. So to start the season on the road and get that first win, that was huge.
Yeah, absolutely, Dean. And listening to Jimmy Obleda talking recently, he was saying that Tormenta was one of the teams that was really, really difficult and he really hated playing against. So for North Carolina to go down there, opening weekend, get the 3 points, get the shutout as well, really big statement for this team and the intent. You know, people are talking about them as playoff contenders, Dean, and I think Coach John Bradford would like to maybe pump the brakes on that a little bit, especially in and around the players, but there's certainly a lot to be optimistic about.
Let's take a look at the keys for North Carolina FC as given to us by John Bradford.
Yeah, he talked about being disciplined for the full 90. Here last year, they ended up going down 3-2, but they were up in the game, and they just key moments, they made maybe those little lapses in concentration. So today, against a very attacking-minded team, where last year these 2 teams played 4 times, Dean, and 3 or more goals were scored by the Red Wolves in each of those games. So hopefully for North Carolina, they'll be able to limit those chances for the Red Wolves today. And then attacking-wise, getting the ball into OLX Anderson, Garrett McLaughlin, Frame, and Sylvania, giving those players an opportunity to express themselves and cause problems.
All right, we'll take a look at the keys for Chattanooga as well.
Yeah, so the Red Wolves, they take pleasure in being your worst nightmares. They're going to rock up here, they're going to get under your skin, and they're looking to spoil the opening home game party here for North Carolina. So very streetwise, very savvy. So from a defensive side, that's what they're going to do. They're going to get under your skin. But attacking-wise, you know, they're going to look to cause a lot of problems. But the one thing for them I think they've got to be aware of is the defensive transition. With North Carolina, they'll probably not have as much of the ball as the Red Wolves, Dean. But I think when they lose the ball and turn it over, they've got to quickly snuff out those gaps that North Carolina will look to exploit.
Foul called against the Red Wolves, so it'll be another chance for North Carolina FC to perhaps bring some players forward. They elect to actually play it back, see what they can do here. The middle of the park, Summersaw, Raheem Summersaw. Summersaw with good size in the middle of the park.
Yeah, he was excellent on Wednesday, Dean. I felt he really covered the ground against an athletic and high-quality Rio Grande Valley team.
McLaughlin, and it'll be a handball. So McLaughlin now sets up a free kick for North Carolina FC.
McLaughlin just being a pest here, putting the defender under pressure. And we noticed this in midweek, Dean, with the Open Cup. There's a number of players that slipped, and Jordan Skelton, the captain for North Carolina, had a big slip that led to a big goal in the game for Rio Grande. And there you can see Capizzucci just his foot slipping out from under him, handballing it, and now there's a great opportunity for North Carolina here for an in-swinging set piece.
We're in the 9th minute. Here we go, North Carolina FC driven near post, pretty good ball. Skelton and the defenders have come up. Summersaw, not afraid to hit it from here, and he does, but just a little bit too high.
There's a good first ball in there from Arriaga. Just trying to skip it through that 6-yard box. Christian Young there for North Carolina was looking for that ball from Summersall. Maybe the better option there in that position was to feed it out wide, but he's gone for the shot from 25 yards, and the execution not quite there this time for North Carolina.
Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official watch ball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. 10 minutes in, no score. North Carolina FC's perhaps been the most dangerous team, though, in the first 10 minutes. It's interesting that you mentioned slipping on this field, because by pretty much all standards, even the U.S. national team standards, they usually say this is the best surface in the country. Yeah,
and it looks like a carpet, Dean. I'm just not quite sure, you know, what is it the studs that they're wearing nowadays? These studs these days, or the cleats they're wearing are very fancy. But there's been a couple, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that today if that's going to be the case. We've seen one.
Yeah, we saw one already, right? Yeah. So North Carolina FC will build it out of the back. There's another slip, looked like, on the kick right there. Good eyes, Andrew. So a throw in for Chattanooga. We mentioned the talented general manager for our visitors from Chattanooga. Of course, Kurt Johnson, the president GM, one of the winningest general managers for all of pro soccer. Started at Richmond, had success at Kansas City and MLS, and obviously has brought success here for first the Carolina Railhawks, and then when Steve Malik stepped in as the owner, North Carolina FC and the North Carolina Courage as well. At halftime, I'll talk to Sean Nahas live, who's got the Courage on top of their four-team bracket of the Challenge Cup. Good start to the 22 season for the North Carolina Courage.
Yeah, both teams starting out really well. Courage in the Challenge Cup sitting top of their group with 8 points, undefeated. And just like this North Carolina team, a lot of new faces, a lot of optimism and hope. Not so much expectation, but at the moment that expectation will be growing with the positive start that they've had.
Chattanooga from left to right. They now have it over on the right side. They've always been a really good possession team.
Yeah, Dean, and in midweek against Lou City away from home, against the championship opposition, they had moments where they were really controlling the game in terms of possession as well. So a lot of very comfortable players on the ball, and crafty and clever. There's a real good tactical battle, I think, on display today, Dean, so I'm enjoying it so far.
Nice pickup in goal for North Carolina FC and Will Pulisic. I caught a lot of his games for Duke under John Kerr Jr. Outstanding goalkeeper in the ACC. And nice little pickup, get him on loan, and also will help youngster Holiday in training. And you know Holiday will get some time, but once again, he'll continue to learn under Pulisic.
Yeah, as a young goalkeeper, you know, signed to an MLS team, you need opportunities to play. So coming here in an area, a town that he knows really, really well, he's got a great chance to express himself and get some opportunity, while also helping, like you said, young Nick Holiday in his early days as a pro.
Once again, Chattanooga very patient, building it out of the back. They are playing with a purpose. Their intent to build it from the back so far, Andrew. As I say that, they boom it long right down Route 66, and Pulisic will pick it up at the top of the 18. Turnover. This is where Chattanooga will make you pay. The turnover, deflection, trying to pounce right there was Brian Bement, and it'll be a corner kick. So Brian Bement by Carolina FC, and they'll send it long. This will come back to the goalkeeper for Chattanooga, number 12, Carlos Aviles. And here's Espinoza, who just took that corner kick, back on it with his left foot. Switches it on a dime. Pretty good ball all the way across the field there, Andrew.
And that makes it difficult for North Carolina with their 2 banks of 4. The more that Chattanooga can stretch the field and switch play from right to left and left to right, it's really going to make it difficult for for North Carolina to close those gaps.
Player is down. Referee's going to let him play on as Chattanooga keeps possession, and Chattanooga earns a corner kick. And after all of that, I think there's going to be a yellow card. There is on that tackle.
Making contact with his opposite captain there, correct.
Try to possess and then drop it over the top. There could be some break. Chattanooga thought he used his hand. He gets knocked.
Nonsense defender, so he loves to put in big tackles. Play with a little bit more caution in his game now.
Nelson to win it out of the back and given right back. And there's a yellow card.
That was good play from Frame for his team, allow them to settle down a little bit. The game got a little bit next few minutes.
John Bradford assisted once again by Mike McGinty, Tom Harris, Michael Milazzo, Andrew Scheck. Arriaga playing in the middle of the park. He's a returner, as is Nelson Flores Blanco. Nelson Martinez also returning, but out because of the red card. Pekka has not played yet. He is listed as a sub in this game, the veteran player from Brazil. He's kind of the sage leader of this team, I would say, Andrew.
Yeah. I don't think there's too many players close to him in age, Dean, so I don't think he could be offended by calling him the old man. But I think he's got plenty of legs left in him still.
I went with sage. You said old man. North Carolina FC is on it.
I got to translate for some folks, Dean.
Set across. Oh, so close. We were ready to rip some. How about North Carolina FC? What a brilliant ball. Alexander was there.
What a great little layback from Jaden Sylvania. Flores whips it in with his left foot. Anderson does everything right, Dean, and we've got the perfect angle at that header, and I was waiting for the net to ripple, and I had to watch it hit the advertising hoarding, so I can understand why Anderson's a bit perplexed by that one, because he's done everything right, guided it down into the corner, but just not enough purchase on it to find the back of the net. What a chance.
Olex Anderson from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That was beautiful service, though, as you broke it down there, Andrew Tate. A beautiful ball.
Yeah, left foot. Flores, no more for his right foot, but his left foot is really developing here.
Some pressure on Aviles. He'll send it out. One back by North Carolina FC for the moment, but Chattanooga had it. Now North Carolina FC will play it back to Pulisic. Showing for Pulisic is Skelton, sitting on that yellow card, wearing the captain's armband. John Bradford saying that Pekka will also wear the armband at times. It'll stay down this time for Anderson. Anderson is in. Anderson, great ball! And how about North Carolina FC? Garrett McLaughlin has given the home team a 1-0 lead.
And Chattanooga Red Wolves are very, very upset. They're claiming there was an offside there. Dean, from my vantage point, he looked clearly onside. Anderson does everything right here. You think he's going to drive for goal. He just cuts it back on a plate for McLaughlin, who just calmly slots. It's not probably the hardest strike he's ever put in the back of the net, but it was too much for the defender to keep out. And what a goal for North Carolina. And a great few minutes there, Dean. They've been on top. They've disrupted Chattanooga's rhythm and flow, and they've had a few really good chances and moments there.
Tremendous service from Anderson, putting it on a platter for McLaughlin to score his second goal of the season.
Yeah, and we knew he was a big pickup coming down from Toronto too, and you know, he's showing that early on. Him and Anderson playing up top together, developing that partnership. Anderson turning provider, you think, you know, he probably wants to get open his account for the season, but very unselfish there, just cutting it back for McLaughlin to find the back of the net.
I liked how you mentioned how calm McLaughlin was, but Anderson doing the work. Spent time with the Richmond Kickers, did Anderson, by way of, as I mentioned earlier, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And how about North Carolina FC, and how about Anderson? He's on the ball here again, as a little give and go in the middle there. Hard not to be impressed with Anderson, number 9, early doors.
He had a quiet game on Wednesday night. I think he would have probably been disappointed with his performance overall, because he's a player that is a real handful, I think, when he's at it and on his game. And together with McLaughlin, you can see they complement each other in terms of the way they play. And they did really well to get behind that Chattanooga back line and stay onside, and combined really well for the goal.
That'll go off of Nelson de Flores and Blanco and come back to Chattanooga, who find themselves down early 1-0. And going back to John Bradford's keys, he talked about the difference makers making a difference. And you mentioned the 4 players that he called difference makers, and 2 of them were involved in that goal.
Yeah, they're going to need more of that, I think, to put the pressure on the back 4 with a 1-0. But it's a new back 4 this year. They've got 3 games together. They've only given it 1 goal in each of those 2 games so far. But I think it was a really good 5 minutes or so there, and they'll want to keep plugging away to see if they can get that second.
Fernandez, the center back mate with Skelton, will give it to Pulisic. Skelton on the right of Pulisic. You see the high pressure here from Chattanooga. Now down a goal. They're going to pick it up as well. It's going to go out of bounds. That pressure worked right there, Andrew.
Yeah, and that's one thing Jimmy Obleda loves to do. He's a very high-intensity character, and that's what he wants his team to do. And on a night like today, he's talked about with USL League One, he can't have his team press for 90 minutes in every single game, but they will look to make it very difficult for you. And now they can wrestle some control back here and try and impart their game onto North Carolina.
Walking you up to minute 23. This is usually the time I'll turn and ask Andrew Tate his thoughts first on the home team, North Carolina FC. A nice start.
Yeah, absolutely. They've created the 2 best chances in the game. They've taken 1 of them. And I think you can see exactly what Coach John Bradford wants his team to do. 2 solid banks of 4, trying to protect Pulisic's goal. Pulisic, I don't think, has had anything to do other than take a corner. And here we're just going to take a look here and see if it was onside or offside. The ball's in there.
Oh, he's onside.
He's way onside, because he's onside there, and the ball's played 3 minutes earlier. Yeah. So it's the right back, DJ Benton, that's playing him on.
100%. Great look by our crew, led by Caleb Waters and the gang. There's frame slipping.
Yeah, there's another one. I hope it doesn't lead to a goal for either team. Some of these slips and mistakes. We saw it on Wednesday night, and it's just horrible when there's nothing you can do and you can't really put your finger on it. You haven't really made a mistake. It's just something that, a bit of bad luck.
Minute 24, your thoughts on the visitors from Chattanooga?
They started the season in a 4-4-2, Dean, and then they tinkered a little bit in midweek. Going to this sort of 4-3-3. And I think they're still trying to figure things out. In the warm-up, they were trying to run some patterns and trying to get into the attacking patterns of play. And you can see what they're trying to do, but at the moment, the disciplined 2 banks of 4 North Carolina with the 2 forwards in front are making it very difficult for them to find those seams and gaps between the players. So we'll see if they can get that going at some point here.
Hard tackle by the center back for North Carolina FC, and no yellow card this time, but it will give Chattanooga the ball. And over the ball now is number 17, Cartagena, as it's going to come back. Play it out of the back by Kapozuki.
I just love Jordan Skelton just marshalling that line, not allowing them to retreat, making sure the spaces and the gaps between the defense and the midfield are really, really small, which makes it difficult for Chattanooga to break through.
going to be a throw-in for number 10, Jaden Cervania. Cervania, like Summersall, really good size, Andrew.
Yeah, and I remember him being here, Dean, having the opportunity to watch a game with you here when he was turning out for Birmingham Legion, and he was a very highly rated player then. And you look at him physique-wise, and the goal he scored in midweek, Dean, left foot thunderbolt. You couldn't hit a 3-wood any more pure than he struck this soccer ball. So,
speaking of hitting the 3-wood, it's breaking camp time. The Dean Linke, Ben Linke, Paul Shuey, Joe Turecki team won second place at the North Carolina FC Youth Golf Tournament. And that's not going to be the last time you hear about it, Andrew.
No. I'm still trying to find my game out there on the link somewhere. It was a rough one for me, Dean. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, good time down the road here in Cary, North Carolina at Prestonwood. That was just a Monday ago. Feels like yesterday. It was so much fun as it goes out of bounds. Gary Butte, the fine CEO of North Carolina FC, and his wife, you see Mako Medical on the bottom of the jerseys for North Carolina FC. She is one of the leaders of that incredible company, which, especially during COVID, they really stepped up, but they have grown so much in this area. They play it over the top, down the middle, really good ball. Top of the 18, and running by at that time was Frame, so Chattanooga has it. 1-0 is the score. McLaughlin with his second goal in as many USL League One games. A great start to his tenure with North Carolina FC.
Yeah, exactly why they signed him, to score goals, lead from the front. And you can see he's a clever player. There was a free kick, I think, last week, which he whipped around the wall. And he's just he's a very silky player. He's not a huge specimen in terms of physique and pace, but just a clever technician, good movement. And him and Anderson, I think, could be a really good pairing this year. And I think in listening to Jimmy Obleda talk about the USL League One this year, Dean, he was talking about the players that North Carolina picked up, and I think he was directly linking that to McLaughlin and Anderson up top, and that he really felt that they would be a team to be reckoned with. And he talked about a conversation he had with John Bradford during one of their games last year. He's like, next year, this team, with another year's experience, you guys will be right in the mix, right in the hunt.
That's well said. You're right. I mean, Jimmy Obleda is fiery, but you have to respect his body of work at Chattanooga. They've won a lot of games. Yeah,
it was great for me to listen to him and talk in depth on a number of different topics, ranging from his pre-game meal to lots of other things about, you know, rivals and things like that.
Sent across.
And Pulisic doing well there a moment ago, just to come out and get a head on the ball. It's key with the back line staying so high that Pulisic is able to come out and sweep up any through balls and dangers to prevent the Red Wolves getting in behind. We've got a whale on the head there, Dean. Some interesting headgear.
So corner kick now for Chattanooga. 29 minutes. They elect to go short. Frame does well to get a piece of it. Kept alive. Espinoza slides back in. And well done by North Carolina FC. It'll come all the way back once again to Carlos Aviles. España lays it back. España takes off after that. He wanted it over the top. I think Flores Blanco was there for the cover. Lombardi had a touch, and he'll bring it back. Kapozuki taking his time.
There's not a lot of options, Dean, at the moment for this Red Bulls team.
Well, you said it. The line of 2, 4, and 4 has been on point.
Yeah, exactly. And they're working really well together at the moment, limiting those opportunities, making them play in front and around them.
So the foul called on the far side.
McLaughlin doing a lot of work And this could be an interesting one, Dean, as this game progresses into the latter stages. You see McLaughlin doing the hard yards, the dirty work. Not too much in that. That's a little bit of a soft decision by the referee, but what am I to say? I'm 70 yards away. But yeah, like I was saying, Dean, this is the third game in 7 days for many of these players. And no matter how good your pre-season is, there's nothing that prepares you for the competitive action at the start of the season. And to go, like I said, 3 really tough games to start the season. So I think the bench is going to be a key factor in this game, and who's got the legs to get through it all.
Free kick opportunity. They elect not to boom one in. Instead, they keep it on the ground. That's twice they went short with a corner. They went short with a free kick, and they've got some big boys, so I'm surprised they're not trying to loft it in the air. North Carolina FC is a lot bigger this year, though, too. Yeah, the likes of Skelton. Fernandez is not bad in the air, and Anderson can get back there and help out, too, so not forgetting Somersault. Yeah, a little bit too cute, I think, from the Red Wolves there, but like you're expecting the big ball in, Dean, so, you know, sometimes just mixing it up keeps them on your toes, but at the moment, they're just not, things aren't quite coming off for the Red Wolves as we're 30 minutes in here. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Just missing on the far side. Good little touch. And Chattanooga so close. They'll say it was deflected, Andrew Tate. Did you see the deflection?
That's a great little clip ball. Young does everything he can to deal with it, but it lands right on Mensingen's foot. And it looks like it may come off Young's toe there and going out for the corner. So he did well to recover after an unfortunate flick into the path of the left winger there.
So 32nd minute. North Carolina FC trying to hang on to their 1-0 lead. Cleared out of there. Great header.
This is a good spell for the Red Wolves. They're in control, creating a few opportunities.
That was Christian Liu Young. And it's Christian Liu Young again, the right back.
Another slip, Dean.
Yeah.
The break's on.
Right down the middle. Somersault will drop it over. Frame. They force him left. Oof. And Frame is dispossessed.
It's a clumsy tackle there. Would have been a soft decision, but wasn't quite sure if he got the ball.
Mensingen continues to be dangerous on that left side. We'll bring it all the way back now. Cartagena. Mensingen again. Deflected. Nelson Flores Blanco there, then Frame. Sent back in by Luna.
Skelton eats those balls for breakfast.
He really does. And I feel like he's smart enough, based on everything John Bradford said. He was at the kickoff luncheon in early March, and a high IQ player. So if anybody can handle the difficulty of playing with a yellow, the way I understand it is that young man can.
Yeah, I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He leads by example, so he'll have to keep that composure. But as a centre-back, you can't not go for headers and make tackles and things like that. So there's always that element of risk in what you do.
I'll tell you, the goalkeeper for Chattanooga has had more touches than some of the field players. They have played it back to him a lot.
Yeah, really struggling to get obviously we've seen a little bit of Mensingen, but struggling to get Espinoza and Espana into those attacking areas. There's a lot of this where the ball's been possessed in front of North Carolina, and for John Bradford and his staff and the players, this is exactly what they've worked on, exactly what they were hoping for. But it's that focus and discipline that they're going to need to maintain throughout the 90.
Good work again by the right back, Christian Liu Young. And I think it's fair to say, I think John Bradford would even admit it, because, you know, Martinez fancies himself more of a central midfielder, played a ton of right back. If Liu Young can step up and be the right back, that'll be huge. Frame probably had a chance to pop it. Cervania And there's that left foot. He cranks it, but it's high.
I was just thinking to myself, Dean, they're looking for the ball in behind a lot, North Carolina. Could they look for it to feet? But it's a great run from Garrett McLaughlin initially that sets us off. And Frame here trying to get a little cute, looking for Anderson, who sets it. Sylvania just trying to shift it out of his feet, but doesn't quite get the purchase on the ball that he's looking for, and hits a field goal. But you can see the threat there when they win possession. I talked about it a little bit earlier, Dean, the counter-attack. When the ball's turned over, North Carolina breaking with the two forwards already in great positions, and then the pace from Sylvania and Frame on the flanks, they can quickly get those bodies, and Somersault arriving from midfield as well. So the counter-attacking option for North Carolina is certainly there.
Another part of the story for North Carolina FC is they're sharing the ball. They're being selfish. Frame probably could have popped it. They elected to get the extra pass, and it would be a decent opportunity now. Another yellow card, this time to, I think, Nelson Flores Blanco. That was an accumulation, I believe, because he had been warned earlier. Oh, they give it to Sylvania?
Yeah, just reached out. It was a kind of a needless arm across the body there.
So Sylvania with the yellow.
And the yellows that have been given out, Dean, maybe apart from Skelton's, I think have been a little soft, I think.
North Carolina yellow card in the 36th minute.
He just reaches out there, very little contact. But yeah, as soon as you put your hand on a player and it's right in front of the referee's nose, more than not, you're going to get called for it.
So Sylvania in the books now with a yellow. 37th minute. Over the top, and it's going to roll out of bounds. It's an Eastern Conference clash on ESPN Deportes when Detroit City FC welcomes Birmingham Legion FC. Don't miss the Motor City take on the Magic City Friday, April 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Here at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Alongside Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you for the home opener for North Carolina FC. USL League One action, and the man on the ground right now, McLaughlin, has the only goal of the game. It's 1-0 North Carolina FC.
I'll be surprised if Luna gets away without a yellow card based on the others that have been dished out so far. He's trying to get away from the scene of the crime. The referee trying to call him over. I don't know if the referee was going to give that until he'd gotten the mouthful from some of the North Carolina players there, but based on the fouls and decisions that have been given so far, I think in keeping with the consistency there. But it's a great little header from Anderson initially, flicks it onto McLaughlin. And McLaughlin with a clever little Cruyff turn through the legs of Luna, who wasn't going to let him escape, and picks up the yellow.
Trying to find Frame, but it goes back to Chattanooga. North Carolina FC 1, Chattanooga 0. USL League One action, WakeMed Soccer Park. We're in the first half. Stay with us at halftime. We'll take a look around USL League One. We'll visit with the head coach of the North Carolina Courage, Sean Nahas, and we'll also have the first half highlights. Espinoza goes down. It looked like almost an invisible tackle there. Nelson Flores Blanco. I'm not sure he got him, but he's acting like he did.
The referee is, I think, going to be a tough game for him today. The yellows have been handed out like Skittles today so far, I think. So I'll be surprised if Flores, based on the fact that he's gone to ground, the referee's given a foul, that he's not going to call a yellow card. I think that's where Chattanooga are saying, hey, everything else was a yellow, why is that not one? But to your point, Dean, from the angle we're sitting at, didn't look like there was a lot of contact. So Flores does like to go to ground easily. There's his left foot high in the air. I can't really tell there. If Flores is trying to say he got the ball, I can't necessarily agree with that. But an opportunity here for Chattanooga. And I think it'll be Carrera, the one that will deliver.
Two-man wall for North Carolina FC. Carrera and Espinoza over it. Dr. Tate calling for Carrera, number 10. He's going to step over it. Espinoza with his left, trying to get it back to Carrera. Planned play, and he'll run out of bounds there. It'll come back to North Carolina FC. So he gets the ball
There's not a lot of contact there. It's a very acrobatic tackle from Flores there, getting the toe on it. But so I think they're, based on that, we'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt. No yellow. Harsh free kick. But too cute again from Chattanooga. And now here come North Carolina the other way.
It's the goal scorer, McLaughlin. Anderson. Anderson stays with it, and they'll call the foul.
I think a little arm round the shoulder there from Anderson, a little bit soft. That's that streetwise I'm talking about, Dean, with a lot of these Red Wolves players. A lot of them have played professionally in South America. Lombardi, his last year was in Italy. They know how to win a foul, how to get out of difficult situations at times. And you know, the challenge for North Carolina is that they're not going to be upset or quitting anytime soon. They'll find a way to be a nuisance here. And it's up to North Carolina to stay disciplined and keep those partnerships and connections working.
Hearing the wisdom of Andrew Tate. Great to have him in the booth this year, as that one is knocked out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick. So corner kick, Chattanooga. Good look at Cole Frame. He's been on both sides of the ball, Andrew Tate. Obviously offensively a spark plug, but doing the work defensively.
Yeah, and I don't think in this John Bradford team that you can get away with being a luxury player and not putting in the effort. There's a lot of industry and endeavor from every single player. They know their roles. And
ooh, one bounce though right to Pulisic. Menzingen is determined to get one here.
Yeah, and he's probably been the one bright spot from them. He's caused Young a few troubles out there.
Yeah, I agree. And it seems like sometimes he doesn't start, but anytime he's on this field, he's always pretty dangerous.
Yeah. He loves to go at players. He's always going to ask a question.
There, he just does it again. Right, even laying on the ground.
It's been a lot of fouls, Dean. Been quite chippy.
Crowd making some noise here for the home opener for North Carolina FC. Benton's onside. Flag will stay down. That's a pretty good ball and a really nice touch. Second touch gets away from him, and a pretty good tackle there by Nelson Flores Blanco.
Flores loves to go to ground, and there he got it absolutely spot on. It was a phenomenal touch from Benton.
He's going to go out of bounds. How about this tackle from Nelson Flores?
Yeah, Benton took it in his stride, pulled it out of the air, and then Flores recovered fantastically well, using that left foot to sweep it out for a throw. And Benton's no mug when it comes to athleticism. He's got some pace. So Flores showing a good pair of heels there to get back.
Yeah, he's got pace, he's got size, and I like what you said about pulling it out of the air. That touch, the first touch to trap it was brilliant. The second touch perhaps pushed it a little bit too far out in front, and that's where Flores Blanco closed the door. The touch was Andrew Tate-esque, I thought. It was nice.
I'm just going to sit on that one, Dean.
Okay. Another little shove there as Fernandez went down. He's going to get back up.
I'd like to see something off the ball there, Dean.
Yeah, I saw Fernandez go down. I think the referee saw it as well. I like the looks of Fernandez right now, along with Skelton. Those two center backs look solid.
Yeah, Dean, I think you're spot on. I think the pleasing thing for me is you're seeing partnerships all over the field. The front two, the right back, the right winger, the left back, the left winger, the two centre midfielders, two centre backs. You're seeing partnerships all sort of working together, and I think that's, you know, from a young group that's only been together, you know, a couple of months, really pleasing for Coach John Bradford, and he's got players still to come back into the fold.
Yeah, that's extremely positive.
I think that was a frustration a little bit on Wednesdays when they went behind. They didn't have the likes of a Molina off the bench, you know, due to visa issues, and a Pecker or a Showcat to throw on and maybe use that experience to cause some questions. There's a lot of pressure put on some of the younger players from the academy. It was a great opportunity for them to come on and get some minutes in a big game, and they certainly didn't do themselves any in service.
Espinoza. It's knocked out of bounds. Well done by Flores Blanco to earn the throw-in. It's a 1-0 lead. North Carolina FC went on the road against South Georgia Tormenta FC. McLaughlin got the goal there. The defense shut it down. That is one thing that John Bradford's talking a lot about. They gave up a lot of goals last year, and as Anderson comes running onto it, and McLaughlin, Anderson's still down, and now the referee's going to check on Anderson. You could see the referee signal to his head, concussion protocol.
Yeah, whenever there's a head injury, the referee has to stop the game. I think it was just a coming together. Yeah, looking more like his shoulder there, but from what he was holding, yeah, just gets a little nudge there in the shoulder, coming together, and then gets one on the other shoulder there, Dean. So,
yeah.
I'm just seeing Coach Jimmy Obleda there, really getting some choice words across to Espinoza down this right-hand side. I just don't think he's seen enough from him, and looking to get him on the ball and cause a problem for Flores. But there's certainly some frustration in the Red Wolves ranks. I think there'll be a lot to figure out going into this second half.
Yeah, you can see some of the players getting a little chippy with North Carolina FC, and sometimes even talking to their own team. And then you just mentioned Coach Obleda. And the issue with Espinoza is he's been dribbling right into traffic. That'll make a coach nuts. Menzigen. Somersault, right place, right time. So it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in. We're in extra time here. Last thing North Carolina FC wants to do is let one in here in 2 minutes of extra time. Menzigen was hoping to earn a corner, but it deflected, stayed in bounds. Look at it. Look at all 10 field players. They're within about 20 yards of each other. They're all together. Now here's Espinoza. Let's see if he can make this pass. He's been dribbling. Oh, in trouble, and wow. Scary times right there. Oh, now they're going to bring it back, and
wow. The referee giving a foul outside the box.
I don't know about that.
Wow. I think, I guess that we can meet halfway, Dean. We're saying it's a foul, but maybe a soft penalty.
Here we go. Take a look at it, Andrew.
I mean, it definitely looked outside.
There. Oh, no, it was outside. That's a good call.
Yeah, I guess it's tough to tell. If it's on the line, it's a penalty. But from where the initial contact were made, I can go with that. The referee doesn't have the advantage of what we're looking at, right? He doesn't have the replay. I can live with that. Coach Jimmy Oblade, I think, wants to get out the tape measure and see if it went for a first down or not. But
yeah, well, we'll need another look at it. But on the first look, yeah, I felt like it was exactly where he put the ball down.
Yeah, on the first look on there, live, Dean, I thought penalty. Right? Did you feel the same?
Yeah, we'll take a look at this free kick first, though. And we'll get a look. We'll see what may not matter, because Chattanooga might be able to score from here. This is dangerous.
Everyone back for North Carolina.
Espinoza keeps it on the ground, and a swing and a miss there by Menzigen. And Anderson going the other way. North Carolina FC. Oh, that's a pretty good ball. As Frame will run it down. Frame here. The numbers are good. You're right, Andrew. 5-on-3. Cervania is pushed, and that should just about do it, and it will. Through one half in a very physical contest. In the home opener, it's North Carolina FC 1, Chattanooga 0.
Yeah, and I think they're full value for the lead at this point, North Carolina. They've done exactly what they came out for, and we're excited to see what happens in the second.
It's 1-0. Stay with us at halftime right here.
What is it, Julia? Why are you so excited, honey? Oh, hey, do you want to use your talker? With Julia's autism, using a talker can help her find the words she wants to say.
My dog.
You want to do something with Rose, Julia?
Play ball.
Do you want to play catch with Rose? I think Rose is excited to play catch too. Oh, Julia, you show us so many different ways to talk together. Oh, and play. Good catch, Rose. Okay, give Julia the ball. There you go. Okay, throw the ball, Julia. Oh.
For Julia's family, early screening for autism made a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Okay, Julia, there you go. Whoa, another good throw. That's the way.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. He asked all his therapists to help him undertake some of the house chores. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. A little bit chilly, but North Carolina FC remains hot. They won their first game on the road, and through 45, they're on top of a very good team from Chattanooga by a score of 1-0. Back here with Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke, and a nice start for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, the optimism's still there, Dean, right? We're excited. There's lots of good action out there. There's a tactical struggle, and North Carolina took their chances and have stuck to the game plan.
All right, let's take a look around USL League One with some news and notes. Always great work by Brian Ware, who's such a great part of our team. We'll take a look at USL League One notes. Of course, down one team as a few teams moved, a few teams came in. 11 teams have a 30-game season. The Kickers with a big 4-0 win to start this season, as these are some of the notes we're looking at.
Yeah, and Terzaghi picking up where he left off last year, right? I mean, he's the Golden Boot winner from last year, and he's straight in there. And then Christian Cheney bagging a brace for giving Fuego and Fuego their first club win of their career.
Yeah, congratulations to the Fuego, based in Fresno, California. USL League One news and notes reminding you the top 6 make the playoffs. Omaha winning the championship a year ago, and Greenville is always right there. As you take a look at it, if it ended today, it'd be some different teams in there, including North Carolina FC, but guess what? It's not going to end today. We got a long season to go.
Yes, exactly. And I think for North Carolina, just the positivity coming out of it right now, and you know, it's going to be a very, very competitive league, and I know every game is going to be it could go either way.
Let's take a look around the league with other scores. 61st minute, Richmond and Northern Colorado, the Hailstorm FC, they're tied. Later today, Forward Madison FC and Union Omaha. And how about this game? Charlotte and Central Valley Fuego 3-3.
That's fantastic. 6-goal thriller there for the fans down in Charlotte, and Central Valley Fuego keeping their unbeaten start to the season going.
All right, always good to take a look around USL League One, and now we'll take a look at the USL League One Team of the Week and the Player of the Week, Vignoles. As you take a look, Jordan Skelton from North Carolina FC making the Team of the Week.
Yeah, thoroughly deserved, helping his team get a shutout win down in Tormenta, tough place to go. And Villalobos, not here today, he's concussed from the midweek game in Louisville City. He scored an absolute wonder goal in that 1-1 tie against Forward Madison.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to the head coach of the North Carolina Courage, Sean Nahas. It's halftime here. North Carolina FC leading Chattanooga by a score of 1-0.
Did you see?
I'm on a routine. a real thing.
In the making, a dream start for City.
Maxi Rodriguez, what a stop by Steinwasser.
What a debut for the Legion. Marlon. What a goal from Marlon. What a save, Van Ogle.
WakeMed Soccer Park is the place to be. You see the stars there for the North Carolina Courage as they've won the NWSL twice. They've won the Shield 3 times. And the North Carolina Courage head coach Sean Nahas, kind enough to join us here during the North Carolina FC game. Welcome, Sean. Good to be with you. And really nice start to the season in the Challenge Cup as you sit atop the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Dean, I appreciate you having me. Yeah, it's been a wonderful start for us. Obviously, you know, coming into the year with a lot of new faces and new energy, but you know, the group's really responded well and taken on a lot of the ideas that we've put in place. So, yeah, we're proud of where we're at right now.
Just like John Bradford, I like your story. Of course, John Bradford, the youth to pro, and you've been involved in coaching these young women for so long, so you're the perfect choice. What does it mean to be the head coach of this team with your history here so long?
Yeah, I mean, it means everything, really. You know, it's their voice that helped me get to this place. You know, coming through the ranks, through the Castle system back, you know, started in 2004, and to be the first team coach now, but do it in a way, unfortunately, you know, the situation that took place, but the players spoke up and you know, wanted, you know, the relationship that was created over the last, you know, 5 years was established, and the comfort and the ability to have each other's support was immense, and it means everything to be the first team coach here in my hometown.
A lot of changes on the team, but it's working. As I mentioned, you haven't lost yet, 2 wins, 2 ties. You're top of the table. You're in a good spot to advance in the Challenge Cup. Talk about some of the new players and the dynamic on this team.
Yeah, you know, it starts with our veterans, to be fair. I mean, we have such a great core with Kiwi and Sullivan and you know, the players that have rallied around that group, and they've led the way. But you know, the additions of a Carolyn, the additions of, you know, the young players, the Deanna Ordonez's, the Emily Grays, the Brianna Pintos, you know, Carson Pickett and Merritt Mathias have been unbelievable. You know, bringing Caitlin Rowland back into the fold, and she's been unbelievable in what we're trying to do, especially with Casey being out a little bit. So, you know, we're excited about where we're going and the work that the players are putting in, and it's just it's a wonderful feeling right now, especially after a tough spring. But to see where they're at and the energy and the love that they have for the game again, I think it means everything to us.
I've been waiting a long time to have this moment with you as the head coach. Well done. Good luck to you the rest of the way. Sean Nahas, top man for the North Carolina Courage. It's halftime here, the home opener for North Carolina FC, and they lead Chattanooga by a score of 1-0.
Sure. Continental Tire has been a proud supporter of soccer for more than a decade. We've been there both on and off the field for some of the greatest celebrations. We've watched with you as the game and personalities have gotten bigger. We are proud to continue standing alongside you, supporting the game that gives us all so much. Together, we've shared thousands of incredible goals and celebrations. Here's to many more to come.
At Strategic Systems, we understand that a reliable IT infrastructure doesn't just materialize by itself. We've been helping Triangle businesses of all sizes build and manage secure, reliable technology solutions for over 25 years. Strategic Systems and CEI. Are you transforming your business?
So, how do you like your urgent care? At Wake Med, we have urgent care just about everywhere. Urgent care that specializes in orthopedics and kids. My Care 365, open every day of the year. Even virtual urgent care. Yup, urgent care in your jammies on your tablet. So download the Wake Med All Access app and get urgent care that's caring, convenient, and just the way you like it.
WakeMed Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina, your home for North Carolina FC. It's the home opener of the 2022 USL League One season, and North Carolina FC has not allowed a goal yet this season, and they lead Chattanooga 1-0. Let's take a look at the highlights here, Andrew Tate.
And here was the first chance of the game for North Carolina. Great ball from Flores. Oh, Alex Anderson does really well to get between the defenders and glances it just wide. And then a few minutes later, NCFC breaking the back line of Chattanooga Red Wolves, and Alex Anderson, great composure to cut it back to his strike partner in Garrett McLaughlin, who does absolutely fantastically well to guide it home for 1-0 North Carolina. But here was a chance for Chattanooga the other way. Lou Young trying to steer the ball, clear a danger, but Mensingen drifted in behind him and causing a problem. But as the game wore on, the cards were dished out by the referee. A lot of fouls. Both teams struggling to kind of get the rhythm in the game. And it'll be interesting to see if some of those yellows turn into reds in the second half. But it was a very, very competitive contest, and we'll be looking for more of the same in the second half. And Luna tried to get away with one, escaped from the scene, but didn't escape from getting this punishment.
Take a look at the first half stats, and you see 2 yellow cards apiece for both teams.
Yeah, I think the interesting one is the possession. You know, Chattanooga have had a lot of possession. I would have surprised me that number, that's 68%, Dean. But it's possession it's comfortable for North Carolina. It's not hurting them right now, and if they keep that going in the second half, then it's going to be very, very difficult for Chattanooga. But for them, they're going to look to turn that possession into chances, because 3 shots is not enough for them to come out on top in this game, I would say.
What does North Carolina FC need to do to hold the lead here, Andrew?
I think it's tough as a coach. You put same again. You know, you kind of roll the dice, let's get back out there. But they need to keep those partnerships, that communication, stay disciplined. Hopefully there's no slips out there like there were in midweek. One slip from Jordan Skelton and the game plan went out the window, which was frustrating for them. But they've got to stay focused and disciplined and continue to do the hard yards that we've seen them do in that first half.
Hearing the wisdom of Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with you. ESPN Plus and on WRAL Sports Plus, a new local channel in the Triangle. North Carolina FC back out to start the second half in their dark blue uniforms. Chattanooga Red Wolves SC back out in their white uniforms. Talked earlier about the owners, Bob Martino for Chattanooga, Steve Malik for North Carolina FC, the president, general manager for Chattanooga, Sean McDaniel, Kurt Johnson for North Carolina FC, head coaches, Coach Obleda and Coach Bradford. Another person I'd like to mention for Chattanooga, the former general manager of the '94 World Cup team, who is Here we go. And North Carolina for the team. Bill Nuttall, the Golden Viking. Overall, the whole state of Tennessee really doing great things at every level in soccer.
Yeah, like North Carolina, trying to really grow the game and the culture here in this country and making great progress.
Mestigan, and when it starts, might as well start with a foul right off the bat, right?
Taking the words right out of my mouth, Dean, yeah. I think we'll see a few more of those whistles going throughout the game here, but just like we talked about half-time, it's just it's a very competitive league, and a part of that competition is going to be that every inch is going to be fought for. Another slip, and Sylvania getting behind.
Anderson with a brilliant ball served to McLaughlin, and McLaughlin actually wanted Anderson to send another brilliant ball. Instead, Anderson decided to hit it from 40.
Grabbing the back of his leg there. I hope that's not nothing to do with his hamstring. Striking on a cold night here in North Carolina from 25 yards. I'd probably pull my hamstring, Dean.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. I liked what you said earlier about the combo up top. I also liked how you talked about the two center backs, how you talked about the left back with the left mid, and those two up top. You're right, McLaughlin and Anderson, they look like a nice combo.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed with Anderson today. I was disappointed with him on Wednesday, if I'm honest, Dean. I felt he had a really quiet game and struggled to get into the mix and into the flow of it. But tonight, the two of them, McLaughlin and Anderson, have been a real handful for the two centre-backs for the Red Wolves. And Anderson especially, I think, just getting on the end of things, getting flick-ons, being a real nuisance.
Teams will switch sides, so we'll have Frame in front of us, and we'll also have Christian Lou Young. My first look up close at the new right back. I started to talk about that in the first half, the fact that really that was an issue ever since DJ Taylor made the jump up to Minnesota United FC, and another great example of the youth to pro as he came through this system, played here, now is playing at the top level. But right back's been a little bit of a puzzle the last few years.
Yeah, and Nelson Martinez obviously is out suspended today, played in central midfield the first two games, and he looks very settled in there. So that might be his natural home, natural position.
It is.
And I think Christian Lou Young, sorry, when I watched him on Wednesday night here against Rio Grande, I thought defensively 1v1 he did a really good job. You know, you look at him, he's got a good sort of stature to him, but 1v1 he was very good, and he got forward and had a hand in the goal that Sylvania scored, and you know, he looks a prospect, that's for sure.
Walking you up to minute 49. McLaughlin with the first half goal. Here's Frame trying to play it to himself. Nice work defensively by Lombardi. So Lombardi quick with the throw-in as he throws it to the captain, Carrera. Chattanooga missing a couple big-time players, and they've got a couple more internationals coming over, including, from what I hear through the pipeline, a couple from Venezuela. I think you said one of the players from Venezuela might even be listed on the bench.
Yeah, they've got a few superstars on the bench at this level in terms of Andres Hernandez, the recent signing from Venezuela, international player. Then you've got Ray Ortiz as well, and David Texera as well. So there's some firepower on that bench for Chattanooga, and it'll be interesting to see how long before they enter the fray.
Yeah, you mentioned Teixeira actually played for FC Dallas against North Carolina FC several years ago.
Yeah, I remember watching him play. He was a really talented player, and I think in the 2 years he was with FC Dallas, he scored 10 goals in 40 or so games. So, you know, 1 in 4 at that level, you know, MLS level is really, really impressive.
Lombardi collides with McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets enough of it. Frame will knock it off of Chattanooga. It'll be a throw-in for North Carolina FC. McLaughlin was thinking about throwing it early to Anderson and said he's going to leave it for the new right back that we've been talking about, Christian Lou Young. McLaughlin, and something about that part of the field right there where I don't see a whole lot of contact and they're going down.
I'm guessing he got stepped on. That's going to be my... McLaughlin, the outside of the foot touch to Anderson, looking for it there. He just does really well to get his body between him and the defender. Maybe he gets a little step on there, I don't know, it looks a little soft. But I think that's part of the game now, the NCFC trying to match that streetwise savviness that the Red Wolves have, and it's certainly been back and forth, Dean. I don't think anyone's winning that battle at the moment.
Cervania, as Andrew Tate said, the Sports Center top 10. First goal on Wednesday, a game that they would eventually fall to RGV. John Bradford's going to leave it. A little bit of game management here. Why not? With a 1-0 lead. Yeah, and that's the other thing I was starting to talk about, the fact that, you know, last year North Carolina FC gave up a lot of goals, and this year they already have 1 clean sheet, and John Bradford spent a lot of time with me yesterday talking about the importance of clean sheets, defensive discipline, and, you know, breaking it down to a sentiment of 90, you know, the entire 90.
Yeah, they were able to do that down in South Georgia just this last week. You know, they got that 1-0. They were even down to 10 men for a good portion of the game. So they've shown that character, and I think that's the lessons that this young team is learning, and the partnerships that are developing. They've all got to be in, fully focused, communicating, organised, if they're going to have some success. Because they were good last year, Dean. They were in all the games. Just little moments, little lapses in concentration, which often happen as a youthful team.
Menzigen in and knocked away there by Fernandez, and Fernandez did it without giving up a corner kick. That was strong.
Yeah, and I love the appreciation from his fellow centre-back Jordan Skelton and captain, coming across, giving him a big hug, showing that respect and acknowledgement of a job well done. Taking a chance there, trying to shield that out, and he's across his own 6-yard box, but Fernandez did really well there to not only get rid of the danger, but win the ball back for his team.
Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and so much more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Foul there by Menzigen will give North Carolina FC ball back, and Coach Obleda, guess what? He's not happy.
No, I want a camera on Jimmy Obleda, because he's full value for the entertainment. Just very expressive in his movements. He's going to make a little change here, sliding Menzigen out to the right-hand side here, Dean.
He gets his steps in too, Andrew.
Yes, he's got the right shoes on.
Good ball, squared, frame, and frame. Some of these phantom tackles are paying off, and it'll be a dangerous free kick.
Flores picking out frame. A little bit heavy first touch. And his frame steers the ball past Cartagena and then goes down in a good area for North Carolina. Once again, I think we've seen a few of those calls today, Dean. Soft fouls, but I'd say the referee's been consistent. They've been given both ways. But this is Garrett McLaughlin territory, I would say here, Dean. Although Cervania, after his left foot thunderball, I think we might be trying to call something as well.
55th minute. This would be massive. All right, so you said both names. Now we're going to make you pick one definitively. Who are you going with here, Mr. Tate?
I'm going McLaughlin. I think it favors the right footer. He had a really good effort against Tormenta from a similar sort of range. Plus, he's the senior.
Okay.
I think he's pulling rank.
McLaughlin.
No.
Cervania into the wall. Skelton, that's a nice touch, out wide. Squared back. Cervania looked like he could have gone down again. Oh, just missing. And they'll say the goalkeeper did not touch it. Wow, that almost leaked all the way through. And you were calling for him anyway. He almost paid you off.
Yeah, it's a great little Great little Cruyff turn. Could have gone down there, stays on his feet, does well. Gets his shot off right foot, and I think Aviles has it covered. I think he's got it covered.
I think he touched it.
I think it hit the post. I couldn't, when I first saw it, Dean, I thought he'd like got his angles right and he'd sort of let it go, but there, he might just have been a bit slower to it. A bit unsighted, maybe through the legs of the defender. That's well done by Fernandez there.
So Coach Obleda has seen enough. He's going to start making some changes as the first substitute will start to make his way over to the fourth officials table. And it will be Ortiz, number 13. And I feel like you knew that was coming.
Yeah, the likely candidate off the bench. He was a real handful here this time in October, Dean.
He really was.
I'm gonna say España for Ortiz. That's gonna be my guess here.
That's fair, because we have not said España's name a lot. The only other thing he could do is Espinoza and move things around a little bit, but I think you may have it. 57th minute. WakeMed Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina. And we just got word that Andrew Tate nailed that substitution, which is solid. Bringing his playoff performance in the opening game. Well done, Andrew. Minute 57.
But Dean, you just look at the organization of North Carolina. The front two now has changed to Frame and Sylvania, and you've got Anderson and McLaughlin filling in on the flanks. But here comes Chattanooga.
Espinoza. This time gives it up. It's a pretty good ball. Fernandez does well to keep it in bounds.
And here's the change. 41, okay. There we go.
Oh, I already gave you credit, though.
Well, I was giving you credit. I think you misread my credit. My credit was for you. I felt you were right.
Okay.
And that it was going to be Espinoza, but he's flummoxed us all.
It's BMET instead.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were celebrating.
No, I was trying to say, Dean, no, you're right.
Which we knew couldn't be, so throw in here. Minute 58. Luna. It's worth mentioning again, both these teams, 2 yellow cards apiece in that first half, and it started to get really chippy after the goal from North Carolina FC.
Red Wolves sub in the 58th minute of play. Coming out to game number 41, Brian Lemon. Coming in number 13,
John Bradford, the top man. I thought he handled last year really well. The budget was not huge, ton of young players going against teams that were loaded, and he's a winner. I mean, he's won so many games at the academy level, has really represented North Carolina FC youth so well, but he got through it and grew from it, and now he's saying he's going to get this team in the playoffs. That's the goal. It'll be a foul right there. It'll be a free kick opportunity.
Wow. It's another really close call as well. You've got to be careful putting your foot in today, Dean. Seems like anytime you put your foot in, there's going to be a whistle blown. Let's see. Ortiz doing what he does best on the dribble. It's tough to tell if he gets a toe on that. Frame with his arms in the air probably says, no, I didn't, but it's a good opportunity for the Red Wolves. And I thought it'd be Carrera last time. I was wrong, but this one looks to really favor the right foot of Carrera. If they're going for goal, that is. Pulisic's not had an awful lot to do today, Dean.
He has not. And that is not what we were expecting. But again, Chattanooga missing some key parts. Espinoza.
Wow.
That's twice they've gone with Espinoza instead of Carrera.
Yeah, nothing's really come off for Espinoza today. I'm surprised Carrera. I think Carrera's having to tell Jimmy Obleda, like, why are you not taking it? Frustration setting in, but they will not go away, Chattanooga. They'll keep plugging away here. North Carolina, it'd be good for them to try and get a second here, but back come with the Red Wolves.
Carrera feeling the pressure from Frame, gives it up. Ortiz into the game. Oh! Wonder goal! Galazzo! 1-1. Unbelievable goal from number 13.
And that's what they're capable of. Pulisic absolutely no chance at that. It's an absolute wonder strike from the boy off the bench. Picking up where he left off last year, Dean, when we saw him wreaking havoc, I think, down the same sideline here. But he picks it up in no man's land here. Little shift to the left, back onto his right, and just whips it into the top corner. Pulisic hanging in the air to try and get that outstretched arm on it, but it's an absolute worldie of a strike. Left fingertips, he's almost there, but that's an unstoppable strike.
Off the bench and straight in with a wonder strike, to say the least. A thing of beauty there from number 13, Ray Ortiz. And Andrew, you just talked about the fact that Will Pulisic had not been busy, and then he found himself picking it up out of the back of the net on a shot that I don't know if any goalkeeper could save. I mean, it was struck perfectly.
Yeah, and I think the disappointing thing for North Carolina is, you know, that Ortiz is good on that right foot. He's looking to come inside, and they just give him a little bit too much room. And when you give quality players room, it's more often than not bad things happen. Oh, Pulisic, okay. But the change, obviously, the change that Jimmy Obleda's make, bringing Ortiz in, obviously it speaks for itself. He scored, but pushing Mensingen into that number 9 role, and Espana sort of playing alongside him, it's paid its dividends already.
You cannot ever sleep on Chattanooga. You had already talked about the superstars on the bench, and you picked Ortiz out early. And it reminds me, if you remember last year, Holiday made his debut in Chattanooga, stood on his head. I think he had 10 saves, and I think he might have been named the goalkeeper of the week in USL League One at 15 years old. But, and it's a big but, Chattanooga ended up pulling it out late in the final minutes.
They just won't go away, Dean, you know, and I think that's the spirit and the fire that Coach Obleda has. And he's never, whether it's the first minute or the 90th minute, he's never sleeping on his players. He's always demanding from them every single ounce of energy and effort that they have. And North Carolina's a tricky 5-minute spell. They've just got to navigate their way through this and try and get that foothold in the game again.
Minute 63. You almost feel like we knew Ortiz was in there, but maybe North Carolina FC hadn't adjusted their mindset to, you know, the scouting report on Ortiz, as it is just one of the most beautiful goals you're going to see right there, Andrew.
Yeah. That's an ESPN top 10er, I think, right?
Yeah. Summersaw comes over to help.
But I think that change of bringing Ortiz on and pushing Mensingen inside definitely giving them a bit more energy and a bit more pace up top when they're pressing, which is making it difficult for North Carolina to play through and build at the moment.
Pulisic, that is twice he's come out, and we'll give a yellow card. So another yellow card. This one will go to Espana. Let's take a look at the wonder strike, the Golazo, though, from Ortiz.
And he's just going nowhere. You think here that the attack's done, they've dealt with it, and he just bends it around, somersault into that top right-hand corner and past the outstretched arm of Pulisic, and you can't hit it any better than that from 25 yards. But it looks to me like they've kind of gone back to the formation they started with at the beginning of the season, and that we saw a lot last year with Chattanooga, and more of a 4-4-2 with, you know, the 2 centre midfielders kind of holding, and then the 4 attacking players, the 2 wide players, the 2 centre forwards kind of pushing onto the defenders for North Carolina. So it's kind of like for like now, Dean.
Skelton. Lex Anderson trying to peel off the 2 center backs for Chattanooga, who has tied it here in the second half, courtesy of Ortiz off the bench.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Mistake in the back would be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
That's just what North Carolina needed there. They were tricky 5-minute spell there where they couldn't really get anything going, and now a little bit of pressing, a little mistake from the Red Wolves, and see if Jordan Skelton can get on the end of this.
Cervania will use that talented left foot to take the corner. You're right, Skelton is moving around. See if they can find him. It's loose in front. Still loose. A little push from behind. And knocked out of there. Summersaw's touch not there. And then that's a foul on Summersaw. They're going to let it roll on. They may come back to that. Menzigen. He's got a man open on the other side. Menzigen finally gives it up. They wanted the flag. Espinoza denied. Still loose. Ortiz battling. Top of the 18. Goal. Chattanooga. Espana, who just got the yellow card, has made it 2-1 Chattanooga.
Yeah. And there it is. Pulisic palms it out. It's bouncing around. They can't clear the lines. It drops to Espana, and it flicks off a North Carolina defender, and is steered past the despairing Will Pulisic in goal. But this is the tale of the tape, really, with Chattanooga through the last 4 games last season. They just won't go away. Every time North Carolina gets a lead, this team will fight back and scrap for it. And then just on that set piece, Dean, I was watching North Carolina. They didn't look set in how they were defending, how they were going to deal with the transition. There was Chattanooga had pushed a player up, and obviously it was there. Summersall with a heavy touch back on the edge of the Red Wolves box, and it was pounced on by, I think it was Ortiz at the time, and then they sprung. And obviously it ultimately led to them taking the lead here, 2-1 in North Carolina.
Chattanooga finished last year 11-6, and 4 of those 11 wins came against North Carolina FC. 3-2, 4-1, 3-1, and 3-2. Chattanooga winning all 4 of them. As we mentioned earlier, both teams coming off tough losses midweek in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. NCFC had a 1-0 lead in that one, and losing to RGV in USL Championship 2-1 here. And Chattanooga lost 1-0 at Louisville City. Louisville City and RGV also from USL Championship. Ortiz got the equalizer off the bench, and he's on it now as we are walking you up to minute 69. Ortiz, good cutback, and he'll earn a corner kick. Corner kick, Chattanooga.
This is a similar position to where North Carolina found themselves in midweek, leading 1-0 at the half. 2 sucker punch goals going the other way. Not much they could do. Deflecting and a bit of class from Ortiz. And now they've got to dig deep to pull themselves out of this hole.
Corner kick coming for the Red Wolves. Pinging around. Frame got his head on it. Ortiz. Boy, that time Summersaw had that right foot covered. Herrera. High lofted ball. It's in. Oh, my! Unbelievable shot. The volley, the finish, and Chattanooga is rolling. Lombardi's made it 3-1.
What a strike, Dean. He's in the right place at the right time. And he watches it all the way, and it's the cleanest of contact. And that might be enough to seal the deal for Chattanooga. Tough to see North Carolina coming back from this. The Red Wolves firmly on top. And Carrera just hooks it in there, gets a little deflection, headed out, and just on the top of the box, he's waiting Lombardi, sets himself perfectly, great technique, watches it all the way, and right off the laces of that right boot into the bottom right-hand corner for Pulisic, and there's nothing he can do again. Pulisic, we said he hadn't done much, and there's not much he could do for any of the strikes today. And Jordan Skelton trying to G up his teammates.
Andrew, you've been around the game long enough to know that in practice, even in games, anytime you had a ball like that where it would pop to you, where all you have to do is rotate your hips and strike it, you don't always finish it, but you dream of finishing it, and that was a dream ball for Lombardi, and he crushed it.
Yeah, it's the timing of it, right? He sets himself there, and it's very easy to go early on it, go late on it, and slice it, and pull it. But he catches it as sweet as you like, and for a right back, must be that all that technical training he's been doing in Italy the last year. You know, he caught that one absolutely flush. But this is the spirit, I think, when you think about Jimmy Oblada's teams over the last year or so. They're just a lot of come from behind wins, a lot of late wins. You know, they struggle to put teams away 5 or 6-0. You know, you look at the games between these two teams last year, Dean. Although they scored a lot of goals, they were close games. You know, they weren't 5-0s, and you know they were never in it. They're close, competitive games, but they find a way. And that's where North Carolina is trying to get to. They found a way last week in South Georgia. If they get one back now, then you'd like to think they've still got a chance.
Andres Hernandez, number 21, will check in at the next opportunity for Chattanooga. City supporters banging the drums, and certainly if North Carolina FC can get one back right here, there's plenty of time. Lofted in, far post, looking for Skelton, heads it down, Menzigan, and he keeps it in bounds. Well done defensively on that set piece. So once again, the Chattanooga Red Wolves SC has come from behind, and they now lead 3-1 with 3 outstanding goals. The first and the third particularly impressive. The second wasn't too bad either, although it was a deflection, I think, that confused Pulisic as Hernandez will come on. I'm not sure if it's a folk story or not, but I was told by the Golden Viking, Bill Nuttall, that there are actually Red Wolves in Tennessee, and according to him, they're on the near extinction list, so they're trying to preserve the Red Wolves. And then there's the den that they have for the Chattanooga fan base. Andrew, you usually are kind of with it. You know what's going on. What do you think? Is that a true story that he's given me there, or what are you going to go with?
I can go along with it, yeah. Okay. I mean, I think in that Ashborough Zoo here in North Carolina, there's a few Red Wolves there, so can't be too far from their natural habitat.
So Bob Martino came from Utah. Apparently, one of the first times he was in there, he had heard about the effort to try to save the Red Wolves, and they latched onto the name. And not only is the name solid, the team's pretty darn good as well.
Yeah, that substitution, Cartagena, I thought did well in midfield there alongside Carrera. Young lad trying to apply his trade here, and thought he had put in a good shift for the Red Wolves. Set pieces though here.
Did Hernandez get that yellow card within 2 seconds of entering the game? Is that who they gave it to?
I think that's what you need to do. That's about par for the course today, isn't it? And welcome to the game. Here's your automatic yellow card.
It comes with the entry.
Yeah. Buy one, get one free.
Yeah. Ortiz just brings goals. As Anderson trying to keep it alive, and handled there by Aviles. Carolina FC led 1-0 on a first half goal from McLaughlin, his second of the season. He's got both goals for the club. Of course, Sylvania scoring against RGV in the U.S. Open Cup loss. Summersault will knock it out of bounds. Carolina FC also going to go to their bench here. Frame, tight quarters. McLaughlin Good idea. Oh, Showcat to here is going to check in. Next opportunity to be a throw in here for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, and Showcat had a little injury, I think, picked up in Georgia, had to come out of the game. Missed the midweek game, but enters the fray now. So a new face to the team this year. I'll be interested to see what he can bring.
So Anderson will come out.
Coming into the game, number 17, Showcat Tahir, 76 minutes.
Christian Liu Young earning the throw-in.
I think Anderson's putting a good shift today as well. Like I said, 3 games in 7 days, Dean. To start the season, it's a tall order. This is not a small pitch out here at WakeMed Soccer Park either, and they've all been tight games, and he's played pretty much every minute as well, working incredibly hard, not just standing up top and letting everyone defend. They're asked to do a lot in this system.
The referee has had quite a few conversations today, along with quite a few cards handed out. Hernandez lost it. Mensingen. Oh, off the crossbar. Wow, so close to the 4th goal for Chattanooga.
And that's Mensingen. He's everywhere. He's so busy, very industrious type of player. Just latches onto a mistake from Fernandez, composes himself, swazzes at it, lifts it over Pulisic, but too high, and comes cannoning back off the crossbar. It's a corner. But that change from Jimmy Obleda, it'd be interesting to see just Ortiz coming on, the little shift of Mensingen going into a central position. Is that the reason that they got the goal? Obviously Ortiz coming in, getting the wonder strike.
Reminding everybody that John Harkes and Greenville will be here on Saturday night, next Saturday, 7 o'clock. Tickets available. Love to see you out here to support North Carolina FC. Chattanooga with 3 goals here in the second half, Andrew.
Yeah, Ortiz starts it off. They were struggling to get anything going offensively, and then he comes up with a piece of brilliance. And then the deflection was a good strike from Espana, but the deflection took it past Pulisic, and then to top it off, Lombardi with a right foot volley into the bottom corner for 3-1 and potentially 3 points.
79 minutes in. First game of the season, but an all-star crew. Producer-director Caleb Waters does such a great job, and he's a big fan of soccer, which I appreciate. Ryan Schmidt, the director, Peyton Hughes, Brian Self, Austin Edwards, Scott Hofer, Will Jones, John Zimmer, Nick Accardi, Coach Cunningham, and I saved the best for last. Brian Ware is such a key part of our team, follows the league so closely, and of course he also follows the Premier League, and he's all about it.
Yeah, he's having a good day today with Chelsea winning, Dean, so his camera work's been spot on.
Skelton, 80th minute. Right idea, just a little bit too much pace there as Cervania came across. You gotta like the potential of that man right there wearing the 10 jersey.
Yeah, they could do with another bit of brilliance from him like Wednesday night. So a bit of a quiet second half, apart from that little moment where his shot trickled past the post. You've got to give credit to Chattanooga. After the break, they've been the better side. They've created chances and really limited the amount of time that North Carolina has been able to penetrate and get in behind them. Apart from a few free kicks that the referees dished out, there's been little to show for their efforts.
Boy, number 7 for Chattanooga. He does not have one of the 3 goals, but he's got an engine on him.
Yeah, I like him in the middle, Dean. He started against forward Madison last weekend in a wide left position like he did today. And as much as he causes problems and a bit of a nuisance, I do like him through the middle there, because he's so industrious in getting about and not giving the defenders a moment's peace, and playing off an Espana there. There's a good little combo there with the likes of Galindres and Teixeira. Could be a good foil for him.
A whistle. Right side. North Carolina FC. Good ball, far side, headed down by Frame. Showcat into the game. Showcat to here. Needs to show us something here. Wow, so close. John Bradford, a legitimate argument, I think. With all of the calls we've seen tonight, let's see where.
Oh, there's a bit of a tangle in there of feet. Wasn't too much of a protest from Showcat to here.
And it'll return back to Chattanooga.
It's a great name though, Showcat, isn't it, Dean? Right? You have to be an attacking player with a name like Showcat, right? I think it'd be a great name for a goalkeeper, Showcat, right? We talk about goalkeepers being cat-like reflexes.
There you go.
The Showcat, unfortunately for him, he's not got quite the stature for a goalkeeper.
Cardonia, Teixeira, and Hernandez. And this has been a familiar theme as well, as Coach Obleda has almost always used his entire bench when he's come into town, and it's almost always worked. And guess what? It did work again. He brought Ortiz in, bam, goal.
Yeah, they've got a wealth of weapons in this side. They've got a lot of experience and quality in all positions. And you know, when we come into these games trying to predict what their lineup's going to be, Dean's always difficult, because he can roll out a number of different players in different positions and different systems and have similar results. You can see they're going to be up there again, the Red Wolves, this year. North Carolina, though, they've run them close today, and apart from a few wonder strikes, you know, it'd be a very, very different game right now.
Yeah, that is so well said. They were next level goals. You mentioned Chelsea. I mean, they were Premier League level type goals scored here, right? I mean, just world class.
Yeah. And that's the difference makers. You know, Coach John Bradford talked about the players on their side needing their difference makers to show up, and that happened in the first half. There's a couple of half chances that if they could have converted, might be a different story right now, but it's just so tough to keep this Red Wolves team out. And they've kept the run going, right? This is the 5th time they've played now in just over a season and a bit, and they've scored 3 or more goals in each of the games. So it's tough to win a game when you're giving up 3 goals, especially at home.
It is interesting, though, with a win already for North Carolina FC on the road, and the optimism that comes with that, the fact that they had the lead in this one and were feeling pretty good, if not for just that ridiculous goal from Ortiz. I don't think it's talking out of school when I say I think this North Carolina FC can, in fact, challenge to make the top 6. I think they do have the potential to make the playoffs.
I completely agree, Dean. I felt last year when, you know, the table didn't lie, right? The table reflects the results and how your teams perform, but they were so competitive against every team in the league. You know, Greenville, and Chattanooga, and, you know, they were competitive in all the games, and that was a really, really young team. And this year they've added some experience and some real quality pieces, the likes of McLaughlin and Sylvania, and definitely Jordan Skelton at the back. So they've definitely moved the needle, and I would say they'll get in there. This is just a bit of frustration here. Flores, we know he loves to go to ground, but he doesn't really make contact there, but a yellow card certainly deserved.
It's Carrera still down on the ground, and just to follow up on that, it's been a great night in the sense that it's the opening game. There were a lot of kids out on the field. We also had Sean Nahas, who comes from North Carolina FC Youth. John Bradford, as we mentioned, under the direction of Gary Butte. I think it's the biggest, most successful club in North America. You work for the club as well, and the tie-in youth to pro, I mean, it's really cooking right now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of optimism, and like I said, a result today doesn't, we talked about it, was very, even if when they were winning 1-0 or losing 3-1, it's still very, very early in the season, and these teams are going to see each other a few more times before it's over with. But yeah, there's a lot to be positive about, and you know, John Bradford last year was a tough year, you know, finishing where they finished, but he kept the belief and the hunger and the desire, and this group is very together, and you can see the effort they put forth today. And I think they're only going to get better. They've got some pieces to come back in, the likes of Pekka, the likes of Max Flick, who's a fan's favourite here. But this one's not over yet, Dean.
Nope. Max Flick will be a key player when Nelson Flores Blanco joins Hugo Paredes and the El Salvador national team for some friendlies coming up. So hopefully he'll be back in time. Slovenia in the middle of all that. Worth mentioning one more time that John Harkes and Greenville will be in town next Saturday, 7 o'clock. Tickets still available. Go to NorthCarolinaFC.com. Love to see you out here at, for me, one of the best stadiums in the world. This place is just fantastic.
Yeah, I love it under the lights, Dean. It always a bit more buzz and a bit more of excitement about it for me when the lights are on here. I'd like it a few degrees warmer, but we'll work on that.
It's a little chilly. You mentioned Flick. He's going to get a little run in here. And that's going to be important because, as I've said several times, Nelson Flores Blanco now definitely part of Hugo Perez's plans for El Salvador, so we'll lose him every once in a while as McLaughlin goes down.
Yeah, that was a heavy collision there to the back of the head. McLaughlin, as I've said before, he's not the biggest striker, but he's good in the air and he's always challenging for it, and he gets clattered in the back of the head there. Don't think there was any malice in it. I think the centre-back certainly going for the ball.
As they tend to McLaughlin, I'll do a little plug here. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157. North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern as you take a look at the file one more time. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app.
Cardona picking up the yellow card. What is the count today on yellow cards, Steve? Every time he pulls one out, I'm thinking, is that going to one who's already got one?
Yeah, I've got it down to 7.
Fans, don't forget to join us here next
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I don't think it's been a dirty game, to be honest, Dean. I think.
You can get your tickets by calling the box office at 919-459-8144.
McLaughlin looking a little groggy after that one, just getting a bit of a shoulder to the back there.
If you're joining us late, McLaughlin with a sitter, courtesy of Anderson, really unselfish, drawing over a defender, dropping it off, and McLaughlin finished for his second goal in as many games in USL League One. So, North Carolina FC, Nicolas Rincon from Colombia. So Rincon into the game. 5'5" midfielder from Colombia. We'll get a little run here. It's loose and cleared off the line. There were 4 field players on the line back there, and that was enough to save it from making it 3-2.
Yeah, there's almost too many cooks there, but here comes the ball again.
Put it out of there by Lombardi, who also had a fantastic goal. Lou Young, it'll be a corner kick, North Carolina FC.
And here's the chance. Skelton, Fernandez, big body on the keeper, it drops. Showcat steers it towards goal, and it's Benton on the line there, just does enough to steer it away.
So Flick's going to come in, and Nelson Flores Blanco with that yellow card, and also, as we mentioned, going to be leaving soon, so Flick will get a little run, and Flick will probably be the left back, which is how he arrived here after making the team via trials. He'll be knocked out of bounds. And I'm going to guess at least 5 minutes of added time here.
I'm going to go 4.
I knew you were going to go 4. I gave you a sitter there.
5 was wishful thinking, Dean. Wishful thinking, right?
It was. So 4 minutes of added time.
I don't think it's enough to give North Carolina the window of opportunity to get back in it.
Now, if you're just joining us, it was 1-0 at the half. North Carolina FC was on top. McLaughlin with the goal, Anderson with the assist, but Ortiz came off the bench, and within minutes of getting onto the pitch, got it on his right foot and hit one from way downtown that you may see, as Andrew Tate mentioned, as part of SportsCenter's top 10 plays. It was that good, and then the goals just kept coming. 2 more after that.
And that's the part of the game. I think both teams have been at it today, Dean. I just don't think there's the need for the theatrics that we've seen today. There's some quality players. They've made it difficult for the referee, I think, at times.
Chattanooga Red Wolves SC. 5 in a row against North Carolina FC. Like you said, Andrew, every time it's been a battle, though. Even on the road, North Carolina FC has made it a game, but Chattanooga just has a little something.
Yeah, I think the scoreline flatters them a little bit today, because the first half, North Carolina, everything went according to the game plan. They frustrated them, they limited their opportunities, they scored the goal, could have had another. But full credit to Chattanooga. They've got that quality in the locker, and it showed in key moments in this game, and it's decided the contest. But certainly no reason for North Carolina to hang their heads. They've got a young team, and they've gone toe-to-toe.
Here's Ortiz. The shoes to match the game, and definitely to match the glory of that shot. Spectacular goal. So just over a minute of added time remaining. As North Carolina FC will fall to 1-1 on the early season, with another tough opponent coming in on Saturday in Greenville. Yaga, Cervania. Showcat. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Join Los Renegados and Oak City. It makes some noise for your NCFC.
See if they can get one here late. Pluck it out of the goal. And that should just about do it. 20 seconds remaining. It will be a throw-in for North Carolina FC. Full frame. That's a foul. Let him play on. So that will do it. After having a 1-0 lead and looking good, your final score, though, Chattanooga 3, North Carolina FC 1.
Great game here, start the season, very competitive, great first half for North Carolina, everything they needed and more. Second half, it was always going to be a struggle, 3 games in 7 days, and it showed, and 3 moments of quality and 3 points for Chattanooga.
I want to thank Kyle Lang, Jorge Acuna, Caleb Waters, and our outstanding crew that included Brian Ware, my broadcast partners, Andrew Tate. I'm Dean Linke, once again from WakeMed Soccer Park. Your final score, Chattanooga 3, North Carolina FC 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.